here I'm going to show you guys the elevated deadlift, regular two-leg deadlift, as well as a deficit deadlift. So again, that's going from easiest to hardest in terms of regression to progression. So if you find, within those three, the certain, progression or regression that works best for you, obviously, do that. We want to make sure that obviously we're maintaining, good form and technique throughout the entirety of the movement here. So again, I'm going to show you guys starting off the elevated, go to the regular, and then go to the deficit deadlift. So, again, understanding a lot of us don't have, the right amount of weights or equipment, but that's okay. Use stuff that you have within the house, to be able to still be able to do this, right? So here, you can see my makeshift attempt. I'm using some textbooks for the elevated surface, and then I found a bowl, and inside that I've got a couple dumbbells, that I found within the basement, right? So again, not a whole amount of weight, but again, we got to make do with what we've got, right? So here, setup is really important. From here, I want to make sure that my feet, about hip width apart, shoulder width apart, right? And again, toes pointed forward. If you need to, they can be flared out a little bit. Now, from here, I'm going to think about pushing my butt back, right? So again, I'm trying to close the car door behind me. Should feel nice, good tension within the hamstrings. Now, imagine from here, I'm pulling my shoulder blades down and back into my back pocket. That's really going to lock in my back, right? So that way I'm really only getting this movement from the hips. So if I were to turn face sideways to you guys, starting position would look something like this, right? Again, I've got a little bit of knee bend. I'm really shooting my butt back, pulling those shoulder blades down and back. You can see here right now, if I had a barbell right underneath my hands, I'd be able to really lock it in, press through the floor, stand up nice and tall. So again, elevated, right? This decreases the range of motion that we need. I'm reaching down. Again, that starting position like we just talked about. Big drive through the floor, glute squeeze at the top, come right back down. Right, and again, guys, get creative, right? Use things around the house. Okay, from here, regular deadlift, I'm just taking that bowl off of the books here and using it right from the ground. So again, you can see increased range of motion. Setup is still the same. Big squeeze, stand up nice and tall. And I'll show this one from the side. Right, and then the deficit, final part of this, I'm just going to take these textbooks, spread them out a little bit, and now my feet are going to be elevated with that weight on the ground. So again, just increasing that range of motion a little bit more. Setup is still the same.